listening to the What the Wrestling podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Perfect.
Oh, you already know what time it is.
Perfect.
Still under the weather, still feeling crazy, but we are back with announcements in the AEW review. But as always, before all that, check out my socials. Follow me, RJD at RJ699 on Twitter, RJD_199 on Instagram, RJD199 on Snapchat, but most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Let's go! Yes. Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling, the show that brings you all things wrestling. Man, we had ourselves one hell of a Dynamite, and first things first, before anything, Hangman Adam Page, we are wishing you here at What the Wrestling a speedy recovery. Nasty landing yesterday. Matter of fact, we'll talk about that now. Let's just talk about that now. Hangman Page yesterday in a world title match with Jon Moxley. He got clotheslined with the King Kong Lariat. He tried to do a flip bump. A flip bump is where opponents will get clotheslined and they crazy sell it and backflip themselves. And unfortunately, Hangman Page landed directly on his face, and he got knocked out. And he is okay. They put him on the stretcher. Obviously, AEW didn't show any of this. This is not a part of any angle. This is not something that they had planned. It was literally just a freak accident. And he landed on his face. They loosened the bottom rope, took him out on the gurney, checked him in the back, and then brought him to the hospital, checked him there. Reports were from Alvarez and Meltzer and a bunch of other people that he was in good spirits, that he is okay, and that he has a concussion. So I'm not going to say perfect to that, but I will say speedy recovery to the Hangman. That was a nasty looking face plant he took. And it sucks because you never want to see anybody get hurt. Everybody was scrambling. Everybody looked very concerned, especially Taz, who has broken his neck before. It didn't look like he landed on his head. It looked like he landed like on his forehead/face. And whatever happened, it knocked him out. So the ref saw him, looked at him, heard him snoring, immediately called in the doctor, got Jon Moxley away, looked at him. The doctor was looking at him. They were touching him. Hangman wasn't moving. He was motionless. And it started to go a little bit. When you have two competitors and they are knocking themselves around and then they knock each other out and one falls, there's a period in which it's a comfortable, okay, he's not moving and it's comfortable. And then it slowly turns into, okay, he's not moving and this is feeling uncomfortable. And Hangman was on the floor a little bit too long, and then the ref was just like, he's done. And then it got serious. Jon Moxley was named the champ. He retains, and that was all she wrote. Like I said, they brought Hangman to the hospital. Apparently, as of today, the next day, on Wednesday, he is okay, recovering. The thing with concussions is you don't know if it's going to be 2 months he's out, 1 week he's out, 1 day he's out. Concussions are so weird, you literally just don't know. He could be fine today, and in 2 weeks, he could have a crazy headache. You just don't know with concussions. So I'm really, really just, I think he had a baby last year, Hangman, or 2 years ago, whatever, something like that. And I just really, really hope he is okay, because at the end of the day, as Jon Moxley said in his promo, you want to see everybody go home to their children, and you want to see everybody go home and lift up their kids and be able to hug their wife and all of this other stuff. So that is really, really important. And you don't play at what they do. You got to give it all. So speedy recovery for the Hangman. We wish you nothing but the best, brother man. Shout out to the Cowboy. Before we go any further, hit the goddamn like button, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, What the Wrestling on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. I know I've been slow with the content this week, y'all. I know I had like 2 people hit me up like, yo, bro, where's the content at, bro?
Emotional damage.
And I just had to tell them, I know I've been a little under the weather. We're going to get, they was like, yo, we like the goatee Rashawn back. This bearded Rashawn, he's lazy. I'm like, man,
Get the fuck out of here!
content will be coming rapid fire starting today. So I understand I've been away. I've been going for a minute now. I'm back with the jump off. I'm back, guys. All right. I know I've been crazy under the weather. I know I didn't have the Rona, but I'm back. It's all good. We're going to talk about Dynamite. Then I will put up a separate post about tomorrow about NXT. And then I will review Monday Night Raw as well. Probably will put that out along with the news on Friday. Or maybe I'll save NXT for Friday with the news and then put out Raw tomorrow. Raw the next day, because this is coming out today. Tomorrow will be probably Raw, and then NXT will probably be the day after that. So look out for it. Look out for the news. Rock with me. Let's talk about Dynamite. So AEW Dynamite coming to you live from Cincinnati. Started off with the Best Friends versus Chucky T, Orange Cassidy, the Orange One, and Trent Beretta versus the Death Triangle, the Bastard, Pac, Penta El Cero Miedo, and Rey Fenix. AEW World Trios Championship. I was about to say Trios Tag Team Championship. Trios Championships. This was a good match. The end came when the Bastard, actually, it started with Orange Cassidy getting kicked in the face by Pac immediately, because Pac just hates Orange Cassidy. Like, listen,
Surprise, motherfucker.
he hates him with all his heart, so he does not like this guy. But the end came when the Bastard, Pac, and Orange Cassidy are trading strikes. Tags were made. Penta came in. Trent came in. They went out with the kick, but he hit the strong zero, but Rey Fenix breaks it up. There was a double ace crusher from Phoenix. He tags in springboard. He tags in springboarded Beretta under Tiger feint into a roundhouse kick. Fireman's carry, and Phoenix hits the Phoenix driver for the win. There was a nice little spot here where they did trios jump over the rope. What do you call that? Trios cross bodies over the ropes. These guys are crazy athletic. Love this. Good match. Good opener to start the show. We had a video package of Moxley talking about what it means to come back to his hometown as champion, and Hangman Page about what it means for him. And they went to a break. Back from commercial, they had Team Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, says she's disgusted that neither Jamie nor her are the interim world women's AEW women's champion, but Jamie says by the end of the year, one of them will be. Britt says drop the interim hater, and it's going to be just AEW women's champion. Tony's time is over. Then they had themselves a match. Tony Storm, the champ, versus Hikaru Shida for the interim AEW Women's World Championship. Now, we had the end came where we had the hip attack by a Falcon Arrow. That was a kick out. We had a block katana with the elbow and a sunset flip reverse. Victory roll, but Tony kicks out again. We had a German suplex into a bridge by Tony. Kick out at 2. We had back elbows off the ropes. They met each other with elbows. Then Storm hit a huge tornado DDT, a power driver clutch, and Tony Storm wins with the Storm Zero to retain the interim AEW World Women's Championship. After the match, JB Hater and Rebel attacked Tony Storm. Britt Baker then came down with entrance music, and I was like, okay, that's weird. I was just like, why does she have entrance music? She should have just ran down. But whatever. Then they started beating her up. Then we had Saraya's music hit, and Saraya comes down, and she literally tackles the holy hell out of Britt Baker, throws her into the guardrail. I'm loving this Saraya physicality.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure when she has her first match, it's going to be great. I cannot wait to see it. I'm glad she's back in the ring. If you have not seen her Talk is Jericho interview, it is really, really good. And she, from what I gather from that interview, she's going to be taking it slow, but she will be wrestling. And we like that.
Oh, yeah.
So, we then had the heels taking over, but then Riho actually comes back, and that was good to see.
Surprise, motherfucker.
All 92 pounds of Riho showed up, and Riho is so damn fluid, and in the ring, Riho is fantastic in the ring, so fluid. Good to see her back. Glad she's back. One more person to add to the women's division. And you know what? I will say this about TK. He really does seem like he's trying to emphasize the women's division now. They didn't get the death spot at 9:30 tonight. They got in on the show a little bit earlier, which I really like. And the fact that now Riho is back along with the DMD squad, along with Tony Storm, Thunder Rosa will be coming back. You got Serena Deeb, you got Nyla Rose. Well, that's TBS side. But you got Serena Deeb, you got Nyla Rose, you got... Why did I say Nyla Rose again?
You stupid.
You got Serena Deeb, you got Tony Storm, you got Athena. So they got a lot of women they could work with. Penelope Ford is sprinkled in there, here and there. So let's go, TK. Let's continue the storyline and get some better stuff out of it. I'm all for it. Next, we got a video package about the Kingdom's debut on Rampage and Wardrobe wanting to teach them a lesson. Shout out to Renee Paquette, who, if you didn't know, last week she joined AEW. And that is awesome. I don't think there is a soul in the wrestling business that does not like Renee Paquette. She interviewed FTR. Dax went on about how they are the #1 contenders, still waiting for a title shot. Swerve and Our Glory came out and said they should be the tag champs. And now we will have FTR versus Swerve and Our Glory for the #1 contendership to see who will get to face the Acclaim next.
Perfect.
Now, if Swerve doesn't go heel on Keith Lee, then don't see them beating FTR. So we'll see what happens. Next, we had a commercial break. After the break, we had Jay Lethal and Darby Allin face to face. They both promised no physicality. We both knew that was a lie, because they got physical. So, actually, I meant to hit the other button, but I messed it up. So it's all good. We'll just say this.
Stop the cap.
In the parking lot, Darby Allin said, Jay Lethal says, we need a rematch. I can beat you. Darby Allin says, listen, I'll beat you again and again and again. There was no sting on this match, and this was pretty cool. So they just ended up fighting because fuck it.
Fuck this shit.
So they just began to fight. Darby Allin, he gets overwhelmed. He gets beat up, and then they put him under like a garage door. They slam the door onto his chest, and then so all you see is the front side of his body, and they squeeze it down on him. Then they go around to the other side, and you just see his legs. And Jay Lethal puts him in the figure 4 on the floor while he's in between this door. I was not trying to rhyme there, I swear to God. But this was a cool spot. I loved it. Good stuff. Reminded me of Rey Mysterio back in the day when he got thrown into the truck by Kevin Nash. That was crazy. Moving on. We had William Regal in the ring. Regal is about to get interviewed by, he's about to get interviewed by somebody. Talking about the Blackpool Combat Club's title matches. When MJF's music hits.
Stop it. Get some help.
And he came down and he was a man with a plan. Now, this might have been the best babyface promo MJF has ever cut, even though he's not a babyface, supposedly. And, man, you know how congested I am? This is crazy. Man, this is for my congestion. Trash. So, Jesus. So, MJF, here's my thing about MJF. They're setting MJF to be the biggest goddamn babyface in this company. By the end of this promo, MJF had this crowd on board with him as a babyface. He didn't look like he was playing. He was all business. He was all passion. He was everywhere. And he was everything that this promo needed to be. And William Regal also brought it. Let's hit it for William Regal.
Oh, yeah.
Because he also brought that intensity and everything. So MJF begins as follows. So Regal takes out his brass knucks immediately because he says, if I'm going down swinging.
How, Sway?
So he was just like, listen, you can put them away. I'm just here to talk. Let me tell you a story, William. Or Will. And it doesn't matter how long it is because you're going to listen and you owe me that. So he asks Cincinnati to bear with him as he starts. He says he was a 19-year-old training and he got pulled aside by his trainers, Pat Buck and Brian Myers. And they said, congrats, kid, your hard work's paid off. WWE's got some extra work, and it may not sound like much, but it's an opportunity. So he packed his gear, he was hyped, he was giddy, and he went off to it. Now, the thing about the extra work is, remember when Samoa Joe was NXT champion, I believe, and you had you had MJF standing there. It's all over YouTube. It's all over Twitter. It's everywhere. It's not hard to find. Go Google it. And Samoa Joe was just walking with that BMF walk, and MJF was like a security guard. That's what they mean by extra work. Sometimes if WWE comes to your city and they're doing like a Goldberg entrance or they're doing whatever, they'll call a local agency or a local promotion to get some extras. Just like you saw Lashley Sisters, the Acclaimed, were Lashley Sisters on Monday Night Raw. Same concept. So, he continues. He and the other extras lined up, and William Regal told them that they were going to have a pre-show tryout matches. They were against a random opponent. MJF was set to go second, and the onlookers were as follows: Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko, Adam Pearce, and William Regal. He continues. The first match, they locked up. Dean rang the bell and told them, get out. Basically,
Stupid.
This is Sparta!
Get the fuck out of here!
Dean Malenko wasn't playing apparently. But then he said he was shaking like a leaf. He knew he wasn't fighting for a contract. He was fighting for his life because professional wrestling is his life. When the match was over, he was soaking wet, victorious, and the coaches looked at him like he had 8 heads. They looked at him and their jaws were dropped. Regal led him into a room, brought him to the back, and he said, "You have 3 minutes to impress me, kid. Go." And then he said, and boy, did he. By the time he was done talking, William's jaw was on the floor, and he'll never forget what Regal said. He said, "Kid, I'm going to get you a job today." And then he realized that he'd never be looked at as a 5'0" ADD riddled Jew boy. He was going to be given that he would no longer be looked at as a 5'0" ADD riddled Jew boy. He was going to be a WWE superstar. And this is when things start to heat up in this promo. So at this point in the promo, I'm just sitting there like, man, you killing it, MJF. You killing it. Then I'm like,
Perfect.
and then this is when he gets the Don DeMarco status right here. He said, then Regal asked how old he was, and he said, "I'm 19, sir." And he said, "Sorry, you're too young." But he gave him hope. He said, "Listen," he said, "I don't put my name on many people, but when I do, they get a job here." He said, Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley. When you come of age, I'll personally put my name on you, but until then, I want you to work your ass off and send me a match and promo every month. So MJF went home. He busted his ass. He replied to Regal the first month. "Good job, kid. Looking forward to seeing your progress." Second month. "Good job, kid. Looking forward to seeing your progress." Third month. Max got a promo back, and he's looked at it every day since. He said, and I'm going to read it to you live. It's a letter where Regal told him to stop sending videos of his acting skills, and unfortunately, the game has changed for you, son. He said, WWE only hires the top class athletes, and when you're one of them, maybe send me your stuff. And he also told him, do not reply to this message. And I was like, ooh. And the crowd booed him, and then he got some "you fucked up" chants. So that was funny. So there was a lot of
Emotional damage.
going on here. He said, now we're here in 2022, and the tables have turned. Regal is just a sad, withered old man who got fired, and he snuck into this company like a fat-bitten rat, sucking on to talents far better than he ever was, like a succubus. And MJF, he's 26. He said he's a generational talent whose former employers will be killing for him to put pen to paper for the bidding war in 2024. He says he wants Regal to look back at him nice and good as he reads that email every day. And he said he doesn't read it for motivation. No, he reads it when he needs a good hearty laugh, because that's who he's become, nothing more than a joke. Whereas MJF is set to become AEW champion of the world, because his name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I'm better than you, and you know it. Woo, Don DeMarco right there. Don DeMarco for MJF, that might have been the best damn promo, and together with William Regal's promo, might be the best promo that I've seen in Dynamite. I mean, we had the MJF and Punk. They burned each other. That was great. And it was like, that MJF and Punk promo was just like,
Stop it. Damn, son.
Stop the cap.
it's like all of those in one. But this one right there is, if not a close number 2, so number 1. So then William Regal takes the mic, and he said, When he was 16, When he was 16, he was breaking into the injury and he had to fight grown men. He saw exactly what he sees now. He sees somebody who was going to be a big star, and he wanted to light a fire under him. And we live in a world where you can't beat a teenager getting smashed by huge men. If a bloody email is what it took to get MJF here, and he held on to it for 7 years, he's had it easy. This got claps from the crowd because these millennials and Gen Zers out here, man, they are soft. This is true. And then we had, he said he's had it easy, Sunshine, and that's exactly it. He's had it easy. They spent several times together that MJF needs to practice promos, talk to himself every day while he's brushing his teeth, while he's brushing his hair, practice, practice, practice. He sees what an incredible talent he is, and before MJF was born, but before MJF was born, he was insulting Mr. Schiavone and beating people up. But he never put a hand on Tony because he's a decent villain. And he knows Schiavone isn't part of the game. And he knew Max had it in him, but he let him down because he keeps taking shortcuts. And he says, I didn't use these on people because I had to cheat. I use these on people, talking about the brass knucks, I use these on people because I like to hit people with them. Good stuff. He hasn't proven anything yet. Just because he's getting paid lots of money does not prove anything. He pays people money and uses them in the ring when he needs them, and Regal uses the knucks because he just likes hitting people with them. Max wants to be the devil. Do it right. Beat everybody that stands in front of you. Take whatever liberties you want. But if you want to be the devil, show the world. Regal turns around and asks, are you going to take another shortcut while you whine and cry? MJF puts on the Dynamite Diamond ring. He thinks about it, but he doesn't do it. And Regal stretches his arms out, and he said, Christ's sakes, and turns around with the nod of the head, telling MJF, you still have a lot more to prove. And that, as they say,
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
what an incredible freaking promo by these two savages. And I mean that in an absolute good way. Jesus Christ. By the end of this promo, I was sitting there like, man, y'all got me. Say less. Take my money. I want to see MJF. We love MJF on this side. We then got a video package of the Ring of Honor World Championship match. And then the Acclaimed had an interview about Mark Sterling where they're going to fight him on Rampage for the trademark to get back so they can scissor. Cool. Back from the commercial break, we had Renee Paquette interviewing Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon, in Wheeler, Utah. Danielson says he has high hopes for Danny Garcia. Not so much, he has high hopes for Garcia, but hopes that he can be a technical wrestler, not a sports entertainer. Yuta was like, listen, man. He and Claudio saw this nonsense for Garcia coming a mile away. How come you didn't see it? He's like, he clearly was just using you to get what he wants, to get what Chris Jericho wants. He said when he bled for the BCC, it meant something. It means something to Mox, it means something to Claudio, but he shouldn't have met his hero because it clearly doesn't mean anything to Danielson, and he storms off. Ooh, do we have dissension in the ranks
Stop it. Get some help.
of the Blackpool Combat Club? Because my man was like,
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, let's keep it going. Chris Jericho versus Dalton Castle, Ring of Honor World Championship. This was great. We had a Judas effect on Dalton Castle for the win. I'm not going to lie to you. I like Dalton Castle. Dalton Castle is fire, man. I do. I like Dalton Castle, man. Dalton Castle's cool. I love the gimmick. He's over the top. His promos. Like, I never heard him speak, but when he started speaking, I was like, I understand his promos. Dalton Castle and the boys. Shout out to Dalton Castle, man. glad that he got to get on the big stage on major TV last night. That was dope. Good match. Jericho Appreciation Society. Jericho cuts a promo. Said he's gonna desecrate the Ring of Honor legacy, and he's gonna beat all the ROH championships, and even all the ROH announcers. And he grabs Ian Rick Bonney, but Jerry Lynn runs down and takes the title from Jericho. Chris kicks him and hits him with the Tombstone Pile Driver right on the entrance ramp, and that was all she wrote from him. We got Nyla Rose. The baddies are looking for Nyla Rose. Jade Cargill walks up, tells Renee, "I'm gonna fight her on Friday. If Tony Khan doesn't give me my goddamn belt back and make this match, he's gonna hijack the show." But 60 minutes until Nyla Rose comes out. So I'm pretty sure Nyla Rose is gonna fight Jade Cargill on Rampage. And then we had the Hangman Adam Page versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship title. And Hangman wasn't wasting any time. He met Jon Moxley on the ramp. They started brawling on the outside. Match hadn't even started yet. Hangman, from a balcony that was maybe 12 feet, 14 feet high, he did a moonsault from the balcony to the floor. Perfectly placed moonsault, and that was great. So, shout out to them. We all know how this match ended. Now, after the match, everybody was scrambling. Nobody knew what to do because, they had not planned for this to happen. So they had to come up with something off the cuff. Moxley grabs the mic. You heard what I said about his promo earlier. And then he talked about MJF. And MJF storms to the ring with the poker chip and a referee. He threw the ref in there. He came in. He took off his shirt. And he was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it. So he says he was going to do it, but then he changed his mind. And he says, you want to walk away cutting corners and being a man? These people know a man. And here's how it's going to happen. He's going to cash in his chip, but he doesn't want Moxley at 50%. He wants Moxley at 110% with no excuses, so that when he beats him clean in the middle of the ring, there will be no question that he's better than him, and he knows it. And then Moxley talks some more junk to him, saying that Moxley threw a lot of F-bombs, a lot of shit bombs at the end of the show. I guess they could do that because I don't know if it was live on air, but I saw it. So I don't know if they played this, but whatever. He was just like, listen, you ain't going to beat me. What you get is you earned. He said, MJF basically said, I'm going to do something for the first time I've done in my entire life. I'm going to earn it. And then Moxley said, you've earned nothing. You're going to earn my boot up your ass. You're going to earn your teeth in your mouth. You're going to earn your esophagus getting pulled down your throat. Blase, blase, blah. And that is how Dynamite went off the air. This was a fantastic show of Dynamite that unfortunately ended with Hangman getting hurt. So, like I said, according now, Hangman was taken to the Cincinnati Trauma Center. He has a concussion. He will be discharged and remain, and they will have to go through AEW's concussion protocol with him. But everybody did their job getting Hangman the right medical attention that he needed. So you will hear no angriness or no irritation from me because they acted swiftly and quickly when it came to the Hangman. So that's all I got for you guys today. RJD here. I am back. Look out for all of my shows coming soon. Everybody be safe out there. I am out. Check out my socials once again. Everybody be safe. Be quiet.
Silence!
And enjoy the ride out.
I kill you! Silence!
And enjoy the ride out. Peace.